to session 3. Today we're cooking
a roast for one. And who doesn't love a roast, Bonnie?
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. You know, when we were growing up, all of us baby boomers, we all used to have roasts on Sunday. Yeah. The Sunday roast, the family would get together, we'd overeat and we'd absolutely indulge ourselves, and then we'd all go and lie in the lounge, fast asleep, and wake up at 4 o'clock, something like almost that, and then have the energy to party again after we've digested all of that yummy roast.
Yeah, lovely. What we've got today, what sort of roast do we have today?
Well, we're going to tailor it down to not such a huge roast because that would be a bit overwhelming. So we're going to do just little roast chicken and veggies.
Yep, so a roast for one.
Roast for one.
I think we've got 2 breasts there today, don't we?
We've got 2, and it's not a bad idea to actually have some spare in the fridge, you know, stored correctly in the fridge, and then you can use it as leftovers.
Perfect. So I think in session 1 we actually do use some chicken in a sandwich.
Oh yes, it'd be perfect for that. Yeah. It'd be absolutely perfect.
All right.
Or even a quick little stir fry. So there's lots of things to do with leftover.
Yeah. So you can get cracking in that. Today I'm also going to be talking a little bit about healthy weight, particularly in older adults. So when we're thinking about healthy weight, we're really thinking about how it's protective of good health for an older adult to actually be a little bit heavier than maybe we were when we were younger. Have you heard that before, Jo?
Yeah, funnily enough, this is how I got into this with Bonnie. I was worried because I've had a couple of health issues, as we do as we get older, and I'd had open heart surgery, and my sister is a total purist, and she like sticks to the gun with everything that she eats. I'm not such a purist, and
you enjoy your food though, Jo, don't you?
I am a foodie.
Yeah.
And of course the problem is that I thought I had to just check whether my sister was telling me that I was doing everything wrong, which she's done all my life anyway.
Family.
And Bonnie came to see me, and she said, "No, Jo, you're okay, just with limitations." And I must admit, I do keep an eye on things. Yeah. And then, of course, I also was worried about my weight because I have actually put on about 5 or 6 kilos. And Bonnie said, "No, you're within the realms of normal." And I thought, oh my God, am I really? Yeah. So that kind of set me free to continue doing what I'm doing.
And it's a normal and quite a normal response that I actually get when I see clients. When I go out into community and people are like, "No, I've never been within normal range." But like I say, that normal range actually shifts up a little bit because it's protective of if you have a fall, there's cushioning. And you're not going to break something, hopefully. And if you do break something, you're going to recover a lot better. Or if you become unwell, you have those reserves to actually help you get through that as well. So there's some really important reasons for why we talk about healthy weight and that little bit of a shift up as well.
Well, I mean, I felt absolutely fantastic and almost a bit emancipated after Bonnie put me on the right track. So, so it's good to know that I'm making a few good choices.
Absolutely. So
and the occasional naughty one. Yeah.
All right. So we've got our chicken ready. Another thing what we've been actually, you might be able to see is we've actually got 2 of our chopping boards here. So we've actually chopped and we've got a separate knife here for our chicken because of course that's a raw meat. As we said in session 1, we want to be really careful with that cross-contamination between our fresh or our vegetables and our meats that are raw. So Jo, you're going to put that one in there?
I think I'll just
give him a bit of a rub.
Spread the oil with the chicken, and that's a double whammy.
Wonderful. Put that one in there. All right, I'll take the board from you if you would like there, Jo, and if you want to wash those hands, and I'll grab that one. Thank you very much.
Now, it's a wonderful idea to put some lovely herbs in with your roast. I use rosemary a lot. I've got rosemary in the garden, and it's just great to be able to go out and pick it.
Got a little dill bit going on here too.
That was a bit of dill. So I just put a little bit of rosemary in
the little things you've cut.
The little cuts that I've made there.
That's wonderful. I mean, I guess it helps it to infuse a little bit more, doesn't it?
It does.
Lovely.
Just a bit of flavour.
Bit of flavour.
If you wanted to, you could use a bit of garlic salt. We haven't got garlic salt today, but it's.
I suppose you could put real garlic with it too, couldn't
you? Absolutely. I have garlic. I like really tasty food.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that's what makes it interesting, right?
It is. Can you pass me a tiny little bit more?
Of course I can. Here we go.
rosemary.
That one there for you. Another sprig. It smells so
Thanks,
wonderful.
Bonnie.
Like,
Oh,
that
so
smell.
nice. Yeah. Anything that you're roasting, particularly roast lamb with rosemary, is absolutely beautiful.
Right. What veggies have we got today, Joe?
Now, these veggies have all been washed, which
Yeah.
is lovely.
Yeah.
Don't worry too much about peeling your veggies, because most of the goodness is actually in the skin, you know, and it's roughage, and it just
Good for us, eh?
it's good for us.
I
Yes.
think she's learning all the time, aren't we, Joe? And it gives a bit of different flavour as well, so that's nice.
Nice to have a combination of veggies that are nice colours as
And
well.
you can always mix it up. What are some of your favourite roasting veggies?
I just love pumpkin.
Pumpkin?
Yeah, I love pumpkin, and I actually love the skin when it's roasted.
Oh.
Yeah,
So you
and
put the whole thing in?
Well, not a whole pumpkin, but
No, the whole.
in chunky slices with the skin still on.
Yum.
Particularly that Jap, which is nice stripy.
Yeah, lovely. Very good. All right, we'll bring that closer to you there,
Now
Joe.
today we're going to be using beetroot. Flat surfaces for cutting on, guys. It's so much safer rather than running the risk of
rolling around.
cutting your fingers.
That one there for you. So whilst Joe's doing some cutting, I'll talk a little bit more about our healthy weight and I guess what that means. So we often use a BMI, and you might hear it from a doctor talking about BMI, but we're often talking about, again, that slightly different range to what we think and what we were as a younger adult. The number specifically doesn't matter to us all that much. We take into a lot more than just that. We take into consideration, has your weight changed, and that often, or what your normal weight as well, right? So normal weight to us is also important. All right, so what else have we got going here, Joe?
Now we're using some beetroot, and I absolutely love beetroot. In fact, I've planted some in my garden, and I'm looking forward to them being ready.
The
They're
beautiful
taking
colour
a bit
too,
of time,
right?
but the colour is wonderful.
Yep.
Look, honestly, if you can find baby beetroots, they are so beautiful, roasted whole. Just give them a scrub, roast them whole, and put them a cut in the top like you would with a potato. When you do a jacket potato, cut it, and just put some sour cream or even some horseradish cream on top. Oh my gosh, it's so yummy.
wonderful.
Yeah, so that's one way if you want to be just a little bit fancy.
A little bit fancy, and we can do different cuts and things. I can see we've got a few different cuts going on in our little tray here. We've got some different slices and keeping it nice and colourful in there.
I've popped a little bit of rosemary in the slashes I made on the chicken, which is nice too. Bonnie, would you mind washing that, or we're going to have a pink potato? Yeah. Okay, so then we'll do our good old roast spud. We just love roast potatoes. Very yummy. So this one we'll just cut into smaller pieces, and I usually like to rub a bit of oil on them.
Yeah.
And I'll cut these into slices today, so they're not going to take too long to cook.
Fabulous.
And then,
all right, well,
excuse my hands, I'll just put some oil on them. Probably at home I'd put all the veggies into a plastic bag and shake them with a tablespoonful
like
of oil.
Those oven bags?
No, well, no, not for this. This is just to get the oil on them. Then you don't have to wash up either. You just have to throw the bag out after, which saves on the washing up.
Whilst you get those ones done.
And we'll pop a couple of bay leaves in as well. Yep. We haven't done the onion.
Oh, you forgot the onion.
Oh. So let's do the onion, Bonnie. Here we go.
Fantastic. All right.
Okay.
So while you're doing the onion, I'll talk a little bit more about why I guess those weight fluctuations tend to be a bit of a red flag for us as dietitians. So more we talk about malnutrition. Now, malnutrition can be overnutrition and it can also be undernutrition. Today I'm going to focus a little bit more on the undernutrition, and what that means is specifically not getting enough nutrition. So that can present to me with weight loss. It can also present to me with muscle loss, so loss of strength, loss of balance, extra falls, ending up in hospital and not recovering, things like that. And I guess why we talk about that with something like this is our meals, all of our meals can be added to help boost the nutrition up. So for this one, things like oil is great as a little addition, or butter. Any of those sorts of little dressings and bits and pieces can add a bit of extra energy to our overall meal. But also some of our lovely chutneys and things you were telling me, the sauces and beautiful things that can make things taste wonderful as well. But they don't add too much bulk to the actual meal, because often if it is something to do with low appetite, that perhaps is why we're not getting enough food in, then adding more food can sometimes be way too overwhelming, right? If you're not hungry, I've experienced it when you're not well, sometimes you're really not hungry, right, Joe?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so not adding more food sometimes can be way too much. So I like to think about the little wins we can do with our oils and our additionals, but also thinking smaller amounts often. So we could maybe even break this meal up into 2 meals. So we're having breakfast, or perhaps for this one it will be lunch. We might have a little bit of that lunch and afternoon tea, and then there might be a little bit of something later for dinner and afternoon. So we're trying to spread things, or what we call small amounts often, right? So we get to enjoy those little snackies. We're done there.
We're done. And I think, honestly, there's quite a lot of veggies in there for a roast for one.
Yeah.
So any of those roast veggies can be used the next morning, or popped in the fridge and used in the next couple of days for bubble and squeak. Who remembers bubble and squeak?
What was bubble and squeak? I don't think that was in my era.
Well, no, it was our generation. Yeah, and so just put it in a pan with a little bit of butter.
But this looks wonderful,
and let
Joe.
Let it go kind of a bit brown on the bottom, so as it's got that nice crustiness. And then I always make a hole in the middle, break an egg into it, and that's my breakfast. Let it cook.
What else can we do? I'm just looking here at so we've got our wonderful vegetables, and I was saying a bit about our getting enough nutrition in. One of those really important pieces of nutrition is the protein. What other protein can we use? I mean, I'm thinking when I go shopping, sometimes it's not heaps easy to buy small portions.
Well, I noticed my neighbour who has her family members, her sister-in-law and her stepson over every Tuesday night, she had a little roast of lamb.
For one, sort of, or is it?
Well, it would probably feed the 3 of them. But then she's got that cold meat for sandwiches. She's got it for whatever.
So making use of the leftovers.
Absolutely.
And I suppose the chicken breast is a perfect one because you can buy it for one, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, Coles and the supermarket. I'm talking about Coles because it's just across the road from where I live. So obviously I go there a lot. But most of the supermarkets do have things that are pre-packaged, and you can get them in single serves.
You're also telling me the butcher's really good. Like they can cut your own meats and cut the portions perhaps a bit easier to get.
If you've got a good friendly butcher, you know, they love it when you ask them to do something a bit special. You know, they
love their meat.
Yeah, they do. They do. I often look in those butchers' windows and think, my goodness, what a lot of meat.
Yeah.
But if you ask them to do something special, they know that you're really interested, and that's great.
Get a regular.
Yeah.
So our proteins are a really important nutrient, particularly as we get older. We're thinking about our muscles, our bones, and we will talk to that a little bit more, but it is an important nutrient when we're talking about under or malnutrition.
Yeah, so that looks gorgeous. Yeah,
so pop them in the oven.
I think I'll just pop a little bit more oil on the onion.
A little bit on the top. That.
Oh, those crispy bits, how yummy.
All right. Shall we plate that one up?
Absolutely.
Okay. All our potato. It smells so good.
Yeah, some of our beetroot has made a lovely pink strawberry mark on the...
Oh, that's okay.
But that's okay.
All right. So similar to another one of our sessions, we're going to be plating this up exactly the same. We're going to have our quarter of a plate being the potato. The half a plate is going to be our vegetables, so get those veggies on there, Joe. And whilst you're doing that, I'm actually going to do some peas to brighten up
that's a good idea.
Nice and bright peas. So I'm just going to do these in the microwave, which is...
Just take the bay leaf out.
A beautiful thing about our frozen vegetables is they're so versatile. So versatile and so easy. Like you can microwave them. You can get those little sachets these days as well, can't you, Jo?
Well, those great little ones, individual serves that you get 3 or 4 in a packet. They're fantastic, and they've got interesting things like snow peas and sugar snap peas. I think they call them now, don't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there's so many more choices than there were when we were kids.
Yeah.
Which was a year or 2 ago.
All right, I'm just going to go microwave these, Jo. I'll leave you to it.
Okay, I'll just take these bay leaves off because they're for flavour, not for eating. There you are. I'll put that way. That looks so good.
All right. Wow. That looks wonderful.
It does look yummy, doesn't it?
We've got a bit more veg to go on there, it seems, and I've got some peas for us to brighten it up.
Those nicely browned pieces are the best bits because they're crunchy and so
goodness.
Yummy.
Wonderful.
And this roasted beetroot, oh my goodness, it is so yummy.
The colours.
So I think that's probably enough, Bonnie, and then
I'll stop you.
Put the peas on.
Put that one on, I'll grab that out your way.
Fantastic. I'll use all those pan juices to make some yummy gravy. So how yummy does that look?
All right, so it looks like we're pretty well done except for the gravy part.
Absolutely.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so as I mentioned really earlier in the video is when we're trying to boost some of the nutrition, things like gravy are a great idea, right? They're flavoursome, they also add a bit of extra energy, and I think we're going to make it from scratch today. Is that right, Jo?
Yeah. Pretty much in the way that my nana used to make it, with the gravy, with the pan juices from the roast and the flavours from the veggies. It should be absolutely delicious.
But if you don't want to make it yourself, of course there is
the gravy
options.
Mixes.
Yeah, wonderful.
And they are fantastic. They're tasty. Just keep an eye on the salt level on them. I think they generally do come in a salt reduced version.
Yeah.
So that would be the one that I would suggest.
It looks so wonderful then.
Does look very yummy, doesn't it? Time to make our gravy now, Bonnie.
Excellent.
So if you'd like to be my kitchen assistant, I'll ask you to make up
our stock. Is that what this is?
the stock
Yep.
in the little pot. I remember making this with my mum and my nana. They were both great cooks, and we used to have a shaker. And you might be able to relate to this. It was called the Queen Elizabeth shaker.
I love that.
And that's what we always called it, all through our shaker. And it had a little thing like a little round ball that made everything mix up. You probably even got one in your cupboard or your Tupperware cupboard.
And
that is fantastic. And it just breaks up all the flour and makes a really nice smooth sauce.
The protein shakers these days.
Protein shakers, of course.
Younger adults definitely have those these days.
Some of us oldies do too. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, what's next?
So we're going to put some flour.
Yep.
That's
cool.
a teeny little baby spoon.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, into there. And give them a shake, yeah?
I think we need at least 3 of these.
Okay. All right.
Gravy has to just have a bit of body in it, not too thick, not as thick as some, but not too runny either.
All right.
So that's plain flour.
Get my muscles going.
Oh.
All right. What else have we got to do after this, Jo?
We'll put it back into the pan that we roasted the chicken and the veggies in, and that way we're gathering
all those lovely juices.
Juices, yum.
Fantastic. So I think I've got him pretty stirred up there. Let's undo him.
Well done.
Does that look all right?
Well done.
Yep. All right. So we're heading over to the stove. Is that in the moment?
That's what we're doing.
Yep.
We're just going to take the pan and pop it on the heat. And we've got in here the juice that we're going to add to it once we've heated it a little bit. It's got such a gorgeous colour, and I've got a feeling it's the red that's come out of the beetroot that's made it such a lovely colour.
Alrighty, that looks excellent. Got some of that red colour from the beetroot,
I think it's
and
the beetroot. It's
all
lovely.
the lovely colours. Smells wonderful. All those herbs. Do we want some fresh herbs on top as well to
I think so.
make him look pretty?
Just makes it look beautiful.
All right.
Isn't that lovely?
Done and dusted. That looks wonderful.
All those yummy veggies, so much goodness and so much flavour. Just
All right.
beautiful. Yeah, thank you.